And 3, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us for the sales meeting this week. We've got a few things. One, I do want to we welcomed last week Jamie Cole, who came over from Bellmark Real Estate to the West Seattle office. This week, we are welcoming Shimmy Khan, who is also coming to our West Seattle office. Super excited to have Shimmy with us. I'm not sure if he's on the call today. I know he's trying to get a few things lined up to start his real estate career, but at any rate, welcome Shimmy. Just continue to have more and more folks joining. Don't worry, Burien. We've hired a couple in the last month in Burien. We've got a couple more coming, including I think maybe one this week. So hang tight. We've got more of that great energy coming. Again, if you know somebody that you think is a good fit for the crew, we have got a great group of new agents that are coming in and ready to rock and roll. Now would be a great time to jump in with those folks. If you know somebody, let me know. I'd love to chat with them. Couple quick things, just kind of reminder things. One is, please, when you have a contract, turn it in. Don't turn it in eventually. Turn it in like immediately, right? What's the law? 24 hours. You got to get that thing turned in. We need it. You need it to be turned in. We are well overdue for an audit, and if an auditor comes in and finds that you have a file that is not turned in, that you have a transaction on, there's big problems for you and for us, frankly. So please be ready or be mindful to get your contracts turned in right away when you have mutual acceptance. If you list a property, you still need to get the listing paper in right away. You don't turn that in eventually when you get mutual acceptance. We turn that in right away and get that into your SkySlope. We're getting a lot of requests for CDs on transactions that were never even turned in. That's a big problem. So anyway, if you're not one of those, great. If you are, great, no problem. Just stop doing it. Get them turned in. If you need help, let us know. We would love to help you get streamlined on that. Also, I want to mention that Tamara Chacos mentioned to me last week. I had asked about, hey, who's been using any of the vendors that we had at the vendor fair. Tamara shared that she used Formations. Formations is the one that deals with setting up LLCs and S corps and things of that nature. She went ahead and set up an LLC and an S corp and is having them monitor her stuff, her taxes. She said her savings in taxes this year will be $3,000. So at any rate, that's Formations. Really a neat company that does stuff that really is meaningful to all of us. So check that out. You can go to YouTube and type in Tay Kroll vendor fair. You'll find it, right? And they're all broken up into sections, so you can click from one to the next to find the one that applies to you. There's a list of the times that each one starts, so you can easily identify where is Formations or any of the others you want to see. Check them out. Tamara's giving them 2 big thumbs up, so a lot of endorsement there from Tamara. All right, a couple situations that have come up in the last week or so that I think they're really great reminders. I know that some of these things we talk about periodically, but you do this for a while, and it's good to continue to hear the reminders. Oh yeah, I shouldn't do that, or oh yeah, I should be mindful of this. One thing that I just want to remind everyone is that as real estate brokers, we a lot of times feel like we have to have the answer to every question, and if we don't, we might feel small, insufficient, not like we're able to help our client. We might be embarrassed. We might feel that the client feels we should know. That's okay. We have to remember that we have to stay in our lane, right? Especially when it comes to things pertaining what could be a legal situation. We're not lawyers. We deal with legal documents, but we're not lawyers. We have the ability to practice limited amount of legal, writing in a 34, things like that, held to the standard of a lawyer, but we're not lawyers. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is a situation came up that was, our agent did a phenomenal job. Came to me, asked questions, and was able to proceed safely, right? But a situation where a buyer, wanted to get out of a transaction, and there was an issue, and the question was, can we get out? The answer is, I don't know. Right now, if you have something within the contract that says they have a stipulation, a contingency that allows them out, great. yeah, then of course you can tell me, yeah, we can get out of this transaction. But if they're past their contingencies and you're looking at this and you're a few days from closing or a week from closing and there's, they can get the financing, but they just don't want to buy the house, or there's something goofy about the deal and the buyers want out, but you don't see something within the contract that allows them to. Your next statement is not, no, there's no way for you to get out of this transaction. Even though that might be what you are seeing and feeling and perceiving, you're not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. It's not my job or your job to tell them, no, they cannot get out of this transaction. You can't say that they can't get out of this transaction, but they'll lose their earnest money. That's not necessarily factual, right? We have to be very, very careful about what we say. Every situation is going to be a little bit different, but make sure that we are being really mindful that we are not telling our clients what they can and can't do with regard to legal situations. We have to refer them to speak to a real estate lawyer, right? Be mindful of that. Be paying attention to that. If you have a situation that comes up and you're like, I don't know, call me, talk to me, call Russ, talk to him, call Nalani, talk to her. Let us help you through that. But please be very, very careful about not giving legal advice, not lawyers. The second thing that I want to share along those lines of just kind of a reminder is I want to talk real quick about the 35R. 35R. I want to remind everyone that, remember, the 35R is not meant to go back and forth a million times. Remember, if you represent the buyer and you make an ask and you ask for 5 items and the seller comes back and says, hey, I'm only going to do 3 of those items, and the ball's back in your court as the buyer and you haven't changed anything on the timelines, you have 3 days to respond. But remember, if you respond back, if you say, well, gosh, they said they'd only do 3, but we really want at least that 4th item. So we, the buyers, make a response to the sellers and we say, hey, no, we're not good with the 3 items. We want 4 items. The minute that you do that, you utilize the 35R and do that and send that over, you've told, first of all, you've wiped out the offer of 3 items, right? That's now gone. That's not a form, that's not available to you anymore. Unless you go back and negotiate that and they re-offer it, but it's gone. And once you've made that offer, that response back for 3 items, remember, if the seller doesn't respond within 3 days, they just do nothing come 9 p.m. on that 3rd day, and you, the buyer's agent or the buyer, have done nothing, the buyer has bought the property. They're proceeding and they're not getting anything that the seller offered in section 2. They're not getting any of those 3 items because you negotiated back and you let the time period pass without killing the deal or coming to another agreement. Just a really good reminder. Again, our agent did a great job on this and was very communicative about it, but really important and a great, great opportunity to just remind us, if you, as the buyer's agent in that 3rd section, make a response back and ask for 4 items, right? You asked for 5, they said 3, you came back at 4. If you do that and you're not getting a response, you need to let your buyers know first. Well, you should have already let them know what the situation is and the consequences and the timeline and how it works. But you need to be ready with a rescission if your buyer does not want to proceed and buy that property. If the seller doesn't do those 4 items, you need to get that rescission in before 9 p.m. All right, cool. Just some good housekeeping reminder items. Let's talk about some stats, but let's do something different. Let's get crazy. Let's talk about some national stats, actually. So I know it was about a month ago now, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Dr. Yoon, the head economist for the National Association of Realtors, was supposed to be doing this thing, and the managers were going to get on there, and it was going to be great, and we're going to get all this amazing information, and then it got canceled. And so I wasn't able to bring you that information later. I did get a follow-up on kind of what Dr. Yoon's forecast is for real estate in the country, and so I was going to share that with you, and I went, you know what, let's get some national stats to go with it. And it just so happens that Dr. Yoon has a video on the National Association of Realtors website where he's giving a monthly update. Now this was posted on October 5th. Okay, so now 3 weeks ago, right? And October 5th, they had just gotten the numbers for what had happened in real estate across in August. It takes a little time, right, to bring all of the information from around the country together. So I'm going to talk to you about August numbers, and it's going to feel kind of weird because it's 2 months ago, right? But we don't, of course, know October's numbers. and September's numbers will be released the beginning of November in about a week. But I wanted to cover this now because I think that there's some relevant things, and I think it's really helpful just to get our minds around. We know kind of what our local markets are, what our Puget Sound region market is. We know what our individual markets are. We talked about that in the last meetings where we had separate Burien and West Seattle. So we got a pretty good idea of what's going on there. What's going on nationally? And from Dr. Yoon, he says in 2019, sales through August had increased 2.5%. This is number of sales. In this year, 2020, number of sales were up 10.5%, 8% more in sales year over year, pandemic year versus not. Really, really interesting number. He said, however, through the roof were August pended numbers. Pended numbers of properties across the country up 24.2% in August. 25 basically percent more homes went pended. That's just incredible. A lot of that has to do with the next number. This is more recent. This has to do with October. As of October 5th, he said that mortgage applications are up 30% right now, year over year. Now, that was a couple of weeks ago, but mortgage applications up 30%. He says, gosh, clearly that means you've got a huge buyer pool that is going to be purchasing through the fall and into the winter. So we have good months still to come. He's expecting some really good follow through the end of the year. Inventory down 18.6% across the country year over year. Inventory down, pendings through the roof. What is going on? National inventory is down to 4 months of standing inventory. I'm sorry, down from 4 months a year ago, down to 3 months of standing inventory. Now, again, this is national, right? We know locally our standing inventory sits somewhere between 5 and 6 weeks of standing inventory. So our local inventory is going to be a lot shorter, smaller than other places in the country, but averaged out 3 months of supply in the country. Median house price across the country up 11.5%. From $278,000 to $310,000. He did make a comment that, hey, with the lack of inventory and the increase in median home price, he said, hey, there is a lot here that says that it may be difficult, more difficult for first-time home buyers going forward, or at least in the near future. Piece of information. Home prices up, sales up, mortgage applications way up. Interest rates down, inventory down. I mean, we've got a great market across the country. We got a great market. His quote, housing market is one of the brighter sections of the economy. We are doing very well. We just need more inventory. Right? All right, sounds good. Last notes on that, he says that he expects to finish the year strong, have increased units over last year, of course, as we're seeing already, and going into 2021, he expects low to moderate increases in 2021 over 2020. Now, again, I will remind you guys, this isn't just some economist that I just grabbed on YouTube. This is the head economist for the National Association of Realtors, and I will remind you again that if you watched him from his video back when we started the kind of lockdown period, everything that he said at that time has come to fruition. In fact, maybe even a little bit better than he had expected as far as real estate in the market and units sold and things of that nature. So anyway, great resource saying, hey, yeah, he's taking into account the election, right? Yes, we're looking good going into the next months and through next year. They're expecting great things. All right, with that, let's hit some calendar things. And I do want to say, did Tay's mic stop working? Is my mic still working? Am I doing all right? You can hear me, yeah? Yeah, okay. Cool. Let's talk about some calendar items we have coming up. In 2 days, we have spooky clock hour class with Equity Title. Can you gals jump on? Somebody tell me, what's so spooky about this class?
Well, you'll just have to jump on and find out now, won't you?
I guess maybe I will.
We are all about the F word, and we are going to have fun on the 29th from 11 to about 1:40 regarding the title class. We have come up with a wonderful test that I know all you brokers will pass when we're done with the class. and it will be very interactive. Dick Kays, myself, and Janet will be doing the course. So once again, it's this Thursday from 11, I bet, to about 1:40. Please, we'd love to hear any of your spooky, scary stories out there in the real estate world as well. I know that I've already heard some great stories, but we're looking forward to that. And so please join us. We do request that the cameras be on so that we can definitely give you your clock hour certificate. But once again, that's this Thursday from 11 to, and I think we'll get you out about 1:40. So there you go.
Nice, nice.
And feel free to dress up.
To dress up. Boy, I want to kind of incentivize the dress up thing. Let me think about that. What can we do for those people that dress up to attend your class? I don't know. I got to think about that. I would love to see that. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay. Thank you, ladies. Awesome. Grab some clock hours. Have some fun in 2 days on Thursday from 11 to 1:40-ish, right? 11 to 1:40-ish. Awesome. Thank you. Next week, same place, same time, right? Sales meeting next week. We are going to have a couple of basic sales meeting items, but then we are going to talk about goal setting. I'm super excited. I know that we did a business planning workshop that was available to you that Paul taught, and that is great and awesome. I'm going to come to you next week with some ideas and thoughts about goal setting, how to set your goals, how to meet your goals, how to set up that cadence of accountability that will get you to achieve your goals. Also, maybe some different theories and thoughts from what you heard from Paul. There's no one way, right, to set your business plan and how to get from point A to point B and beyond. The best way is the way that you'll actually do, right? So I'm going to give you some other ideas and concepts. Next week, it'll be a fairly normal time as far as how long we'll be in the sales meeting, but we've got some cool stuff for you next week. With regard to that, I am really excited to share with you and chat about. Let's see. Also, we've got Equity Title is coming with another class in in November for us. So put this on your calendar. We have Equity Title and Escrow. Oh, somebody's not on mute. We're getting a lot of feedback there. I think, there we go. Okay, let's see. Equity Title and Escrow from 12 to 3, the policy of title insurance. So again, if you need to, work up on those clock hours, get those set for a renewal coming up, make sure get that in your calendar for sure. You're going to want to see that. And then also I will mention no, I'm not going to mention that. Yeah, I'll mention that. We have got December 1st in the sales meeting. We're going to be talking about the CRM and getting people ready to go into the new year and give you the whole month of December to work on setting up your CRM. If you don't already have that going, you can learn all about what's going on. That again will be during the sales meeting. Last is just a reminder. I did mention last week the convention, the national convention in Las Vegas. We do have the national convention group package, $385 per person. You can go live. If you go live and you don't want to go there or it gets canceled, the live portion, it'll be virtual. So a lot of opportunities there. If you want to get involved in that, that's March 21st through the 23rd. Let me know. We will get you on the calendar for that. Awesome. I'm going to real quick go to Kara Nunley. Kara has something that is, I don't know, did you mention this before, Kara? Did this get mentioned? I hear about things, but I don't remember if it got mentioned here about what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so Rachel sent out an email to the Beering office. West Seattle Mark will be sending you guys out the email if he hasn't already. So we're doing a promotion for purchase transactions through the remainder of the year for you guys. So what that's going to look like is instead of the Second Opinion $100 Target gift card, what we're doing is we will meet or beat a competitor's offer. And if we cannot, we will give the buyer $1,000. So it's $1,000, not $100, but $1,000 if we cannot meet or beat a competitor's offer. Now, keep in mind, there are some restrictions. It has to be a same program type. We aren't offering grant programs. So if they went to BECU and got the grant program, we don't have grant funds, so we can't offer like a grant program. So there are some restrictions, conventional FHA, VA, things like that. Yes, we will meet or beat, and if we cannot, then we'll give them $1,000. The other restrictions is it has to be a purchase, owner-occupied property. It cannot be a non-owner occupied investment property. And then renovation loans. That's another one that we is restricted. So, or construction, ground up loans, things like that. So more about that. If you guys want the flyer, all the restrictions are on the flyer. And Rachel will send that out to the Beering office after this meeting, and then look for an email from Mark, as he will be sending that flyer with his information on it to the West Seattle office. So it's great. We are super competitive in the purchase market right now. Our rates are really low for the purchase business. So we just want to focus on that for you guys, bringing out the remainder of the year and making sure we're closing everything on time for you guys. That's our priority. You guys are our priority and our main goal. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach us, and then look out for that flyer today. Let me know if there's any questions, you guys. Thank you.
Nice. Talk about putting their money where their mouth is. $1,000 if they can't meet or beat a rate. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you look like a hero to your clients, right? If they can't, well, gosh, you made a phone call, got a price, quote, and they weren't able to beat it, and they send you $1,000. I mean, come on. Anyway, fantastic. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's great. Bruce, I did see your message. Did the new mortgage numbers include refis? This is referring back to Dr. Yoon's comment about over 30% more applications. And I will say that he did not specify that it did or did not. However, everything that he is presenting has to do with sales. So I would be very, very, very surprised if those numbers had anything to do with refis. Because as we all know, the refi market is crazy, out of control, insane. Which, by the way, I just finished my refi. Thank you, Karen Nunley. Appreciate that. That's out of control. So I don't believe that number at all is equating anything to the refi numbers. We know that there are more people looking for houses right now than you can imagine. It's because of the low rates, right? Get more, right? Spend less, get more, spend less. God, it's a good time to be in real estate. Okay. Let's talk about where we're going. What are we doing? How are we doing? Next week, like I mentioned, we're going to talk about goals, right? We're going to talk about goal setting. We're going to talk about WIGs and lead measures and lag measures and how that all works and how to get to where you want to be. But this week, I just want to make note on a couple of things. Get us going in the right way. We got a week to get ready for that next for the meeting next week. How are you doing? Have you gotten stuff set up? Just remember, mindset, skill set, action, right? If our mindset's not right, we're not going to be in a good space to work on our skill set. If our skill set's not there, our action is going to be hollow, right? So we've got to work. Are we in the right spot? Are we in a good spot for our mindset going into next week? Also, have you articulated your why? If not, why not? Right? Why not? So, let's make sure that we are putting some thought into why are we doing this. If we don't have the time and we don't have the idea of why we're doing this, then our mindset's probably not great. We're probably are already having issues or difficulties with our mindset. So let's make sure to do that. Now I am looking up here. I'm trying to mute people because I hear a lot of feedback coming through. All right, I'm gonna mute a couple. Awesome. If you notice that you are not on mute, go ahead and mute yourself because I think we got a couple. Oh, I got another one there. Boom, done. Make sure when you jump on to mute yourself, it's so helpful. Cool. So your why. Do you have your why? If you don't have your why, are you in a good space? I know we talked about this, but it's just a quick reminder. You got a week. Let's get that going. Let's get that in place. If you haven't done it, that's all right. But let's narrow in, let's hone in, let's get it done. And also, what's your word? What is your word going to be for 2021? What are you bringing to the table? What do you want to manifest? What do you want to be a part of? What do you want to have as part of your business and your mantra going forward? With that, what I want to talk about is lead generation. Let's talk about leads. I know that there is a lot of you that are like, okay, cool. I was going good and it slowed up a little bit for me. Or, hey, the kids are now they're settled in school. I feel like I can get back out there and get focused back on my business. I've seen our numbers and I know that over the last month and a half or so, maybe not quite as much. The market's kind of still doing pretty good. Some of us are maybe not doing quite as much real estate, and that's okay. That's the normal ebb and flow of real estate, but let's get back into it. If you're thinking to yourself, hey, I want to do some lead gen, but gosh, what are the options? What should I be doing right now? I got 13 things I want to throw at you. This is not everything. We could be here all day. I got ideas coming out Bill's ears. I always pick on Bill because I can see Bill. I like that. Anyway, we got ideas. There's all kinds of opportunities here, right? First things first, come on, the weather is amazing. Who did open houses last weekend? Now, if you are uncomfortable doing open houses because of COVID, I totally understand. And I would not at all propose that you go out of your comfort zone or out of your belief system and go do open houses. If that's not your jam, that's okay. It makes sense. It's reasonable. But if you're comfortable and you do feel like, hey, I can be in that space, I can do that safely, you should be out there doing that. There are so few of them right now, and we've got people that are just pouring into open houses. A lot of good opportunities there. I know people in each offices are looking for open people to hold open houses. They have more listings than they can hold open. Paul Poyer, I know in West Seattle, is not begging for him, but they're asking, hey, Kaya mentioned to me, hey, can you ask, please? We need people to hold opens. Let us know, open houses, right? Facebook, are you doing your Facebook asks, right? We've talked about this a couple of times before, but this was 2 years ago. Diane was talking about how I just asked, hey, I need to do 10 CMAs this month. Anybody want to know what their house is worth, right? We know if we make an ask, people that know us and like us will want to help us. Make that ask. Get intentional when you are in groups of people, all right? We've got about 50 people on this call. I know some of you are making sure to stay really isolated and masks and 6 feet or more, or just not really getting out in public. But I also know that there's a group of you that are being incredibly social right now. Are you being intentional when you are being social, when you're in those spaces, when you go out to dinner with people? Are you taking that opportunity to have real estate related conversations? Are you making that ask, how's work, right? How's work? So that they'll reciprocate and ask that back. Be intentional right now with your conversations when you are around people. Facebook groups, we talked about this before. Go join some Facebook groups and start having some conversations. Steal Andrea's idea and join a manifestation group so you can tell them, I'm manifesting that I'm going to sell 20 houses this year, and they can help you do that, right? Door knocking. Let's talk about door knocking for a second. I love this. All right, I have been wanting someone to try this, or to do it for a while. And I've got somebody who's in coaching right now who said, yeah, I'm comfortable. Let's do some door knocking. Really simple, folks. Really, door knocking in COVID? Yes, door knocking in COVID. Super simple, okay? First things first, you have to come from a place of value. So find a Berkshire Hathaway listing that has sold in the last few days, sold, closed. You'll see what it closed for, what it listed at, and what it closed for. Say it's a $500,000 house, sold for $520,000. Cool. You know how much it got bid up. You see that it was only on the market for a few days, so you know multiple offers. Call the agent. Say, hey, how many offers did you get? Mr. or Mrs. Berkshire Hathaway agent, right? How many offers? We got 4 offers. Awesome. Thank you. 20,000 over ask, 4 offers. Then go and knock the couple of blocks or few blocks around that listing. Knock on a door, take 10 steps back, get the heck out of there with your mask on, right? But knock on the door, take a few steps back, and very quickly get to the point of giving them something of value. When they answer the door, just simply say, hi, I'm with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. We just sold the property down the street. It sold in just a couple of days on the market. We had 4 offers and it closed for $20,000 over asking price. With 4 offers, it means there's 3 buyers that are still looking. Do you have any interest at all? Have you thought at all about selling your house? Real simple, right? You're coming from value because they've been wondering, what did that house sell for? And they haven't gotten around to find out because it just sold a few days ago. You can have some great conversations. I got an agent in Burien that's in coaching right now who just secured a listing, has only been doing this for a week or so, has, I think, actually another lead on a listing and a buyer. Just from doing this simple technique. If that sounds like it's of interest to you, let me know. I would love to talk to you more about it. But door knocking, go do it. Your SOI ABCs, have you even started that? Did you start it and get derailed? How's that going? Are you making those conversations? Are you setting people? Are you setting your A's up to talk to them once a month? Are you setting your B's up to talk to them once a quarter? Are you setting your C's up for that biannual touch? How are you doing with that? And if that freaks you out and you're like, gosh, that's too much work, Tay, don't want to do it, just pick up the phone and call your SOI. Are you just picking up the phone and calling people? Talk to people. You have to talk to people. How are you doing on video, right? Video. Who's done TikTok? That sounds like it's right up my alley. It's not. It's not. But if you do a TikTok, I want to see it. Anyway, don't do TikTok. Fine, I don't care. But video, start using some video. You've been thinking you wanted to use it. You've been thinking you should use it. And you're right. Go use it. Start using it. The postcard program that we have. How many people are utilizing the Corfac postcard program where we will reimburse you up to $100 in matching funds on your postcards? You can get your monthly fee back. We'll give it right back to you. You spend $200 or more, we'll give you $100 towards your postcards. Talk to your admin in your office about that program. If you haven't started using it, do it, right? Lead gen, let's go. Let's get in front of people. What else can you do? Have you been emailing your clients a newsletter, or do you have them on a drip campaign? How are you touching people, right? How are you doing that more passive marketing, but staying top of mind and staying in front of people? Are you doing that kind of stuff? Are you mailing around your sales? Are you being intentional about trying to leverage your listings or your sales into more business, right? Go do some lead gen around your sales. What about thank you and gratitude cards? Heck, we provide these for you for free. Don't come in and grab 500 of them because you're going to do them for the next year, right? And then I got to order a whole bunch more. Grab a packet, 50 of them, and go start, right? Do 2 a day. Set yourself a goal, something that matters. But lead gen, right? Simple lead gen activities that you can be doing. The last thing I want to share with you, and I know you saw in my email that I sent out last night about today's sales meeting, is that I got props. And you haven't seen any props yet, except maybe this pen. I've been whirling that around a little bit. So I'm going to show you some props. And here is the context. Let's do some Popeyes, right? Let's do some Popeyes. Let's not be afraid to interact with human beings. Let's do it safely. Let's do it distanced, right? Let's do it smart. But stop by and see your folks. If you don't want to talk to them, fine. Just stop by and put something on their doorstep, right? All right, so I went and I found all kinds of great Popeye ideas, because sometimes we go, yeah, I want to do Popeyes, but I don't have any good ideas. So I'm going to show you what I got. All right, just some ideas. Went to the dollar store. $1. $1, right? Just go to the dollar store, get something silly like that. Grab one of Kara's cards. No, don't get Kara's card, but your card. Tape it there. Go drop it off, right? Cool, fun, awesome, no big deal. Pumpkins. Drop off a pumpkin. Slap a card on it, right? $1.70 at QFC. $1.70 for a pumpkin. Are you kidding me? All right, cool. What else can you do? Dollar store. Tin can at the dollar store. Look at this, full of candy, right? I bought a big old Herkin bag of candy because I need to eat that. And, right, we're filling this up. What's this going to cost me? Like $3, something like that? $3 for a nice little drop-by, pop-by item. There is a photographer that came by our office in Burien. He dropped off these. It's just a cellophane thing. It's got a little candy in the bottom and a business card in it. What's that going to cost him? Like $1? Maybe $1. Go drop off with your SOI. Go pop by and drop off some of this stuff. Let's see. You want to do something big. You know that they got kids, and you know, I have kids. I don't know about you guys, but I've got kids, and I know that they're not trick-or-treating this year, right? I don't think that that's healthy. I don't think it's smart, right? But can you not be the person that drops off that trick-or-treat bag or package for your clients that have kids? Boom, look at this. Look at that. That's like $6, right? Some pencils in there. You got some candy in there, a fun box, something big, something substantial. You give something to your clients' kids, they're going to remember that a lot longer than if you give something to them. That I will promise you. Anyway, fun. It's like $6, dollar store stuff, right? Cool. What else? Oh, by the way, if you think these were my ideas, they were not. I stole every single one of these ideas. Just so you know. That's how you know they're good ideas. They weren't mine. They were somebody else's. Here we go. Look at this. Sealed, packaged, safe. Look at this. Pumpkin spice cupcakes, right? Let's go drop them off. What's that? $4, $5 at QFC? Awesome. Cool. Fun. Look at this. This is kind of fun. I don't know. I think it's fun because it's colorful, but look at this. Drop off a cake. Happy Halloween. Look at that. You want that in your mouth? I don't. That's got some, I don't know what that is on there, but it's kind of fun, right? Yeah, it's a good idea. You want to do something a little bit nicer, you know, for your clients that you really like, right? Your A's maybe. I don't know. How about a bottle of wine? Look at this. That wasn't actually expensive. That was $7. You know what that is? Apothic Dark Red Blend. 2017, so you know it's real good, right? That was like $7, like QFC, right? And it's kind of got the Halloween feel to it. Anyway, have some fun, right? Find a way to go pop by, say hi to somebody, bring them something small, and have a conversation. Knock on the door and step back. Just say hi, or don't talk to them at all. Just drop something off and tell them you're thinking about them, right? Anyway, go do something. It's lead gen time. It's time to build a business. It's time to build those leads and that pipeline of people that are going to start popping out come the first of the year, maybe even sooner. But we got to do something, right? These are some great lead generation activities. I hope that you take me up on it. And I really hope you take me up on some of these pop buys, because I think that the pop buy ideas, I think it's a great time for that. And the weather's going to be amazing. The next 3 days, no rain, go do it. Today, tomorrow, Thursday, anytime. Go do it. Knock it out. All right. With that, that's it. That's it. Next week, goal setting. Oh, it's going to be fun. All right. With that, let's go ahead. Well, I see that there's a lot of comments. I'll look at those, but new and price reduced. Let's pop off of some mutes and let me know, what do you got coming? New and price reduced. Ooh, we need some new coming.
Are you gonna stop recording?
I will stop recording. Hold on real quick. Good question. There we go. And